Welcome back to the Rest is F1 podcast, where it's just us three mates waffling on about F1. I'm your host, Sharik, today, and I've got, as usual, Abdu and Hamdan. And today we're going to talk about the Italian Grand Prix, the preview for this race. It's the 16th race of the calendar, and we're going to do our normal predictions, the good drive, podium, good team, bad team, and crazy prediction. And we're also going to have a look into some of the hot topics right now, spiraling around the F1 world. But I think we'll dive straight into it today. Um, let's start with Hamdan. What do you think the podium's going to be today, or for this weekend?
For the weekend. So I'm gonna give for Norris the win, because of the previous race, how he was been doing. Because Norris, Hamilton, and Charles, come on, you're gonna have an Italian Grand Prix, and you can't have a Ferrari up there. It's gonna be a bit bad. People are not gonna like it. So I'm gonna give for Charles, but P3, Hamilton on P2, because Mercedes have been really good, but then unfortunate due to the previous race. But then I think Hamilton has got the chance. Norris, he was brilliant, absolutely brilliant in the previous race as well. So I've got to give it to him, even though I've given him a bad drive or something for the previous race, P1 dropout. But then, man, he was too good. He was too good. 28.8 second lead for the previous race.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised with the how far back Max was that race.
Uh, Exactly.
Like especially his own race, like being so far back. I didn't expect it at all.
I swear it was a
Um,
surprise. These
yeah,
are my top three. These are my top three.
yeah. Abdul, what do you think?
So my top three, again, Norris,
Yeah.
Charles, and Hamilton. I think McLaren is on a roll, so I have to give it to Norris. The 22-second lead, you can't just, blind your eyes on that one. I think it's going to be another McLaren strong race this weekend.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And Ferrari, Monza track, the Tifosis are going to be there. So I think that's going to push Charles along. I think he has been really strong in Monza in the past races as well. And hopefully, this is the turning point for them. And yeah, I see Hamilton up there as well. FP1 and FP2, he has been really strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has been very positive after the FP2 session.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Looking
He
forward.
needs he needs a comeback after last weekend, I think.
Yeah,
He's not been that wasn't a great week as well.
yeah, true. And everyone's been talking about 3 to 4 horse race this weekend. Four teams
Yeah.
close to each other, so I think it's going to be a really tight fight up front.
Yeah, actually that kind of you can kind of see in our predictions because I've actually gone Leclerc to win and then Norris Verstappen. I think it'll be closer than we think. I think McLaren's were great, but I
Mhm.
think Ferrari will have the edge because, they don't seem to be really bad at the track. They're always like pretty good at Monza. And obviously Norris is just like he's just on a different level right now, so he's got to be second. And then I've gone Verstappen third because I don't think the Red Bull will be um as good as we saw like last week in
No,
Holland.
no,
So yeah,
no.
I think
I think Red Bull has not been performing. I don't think it's gonna be a really good second half of the season for them.
yeah,
I
they
I I
they're gonna
doubt it.
be
I
holding
doubt it.
on.
Exactly.
Like
They're barely holding on. They're barely holding on.
yeah, I think it's 30 points now, right? So
Exactly.
like the you can't be holding on for
Exa
nine
True.
more races and
Because you can't have Max holding on to the constructor championship for the team all alone.
yeah, nine more rounds. You can't like
Yeah,
have one
he can't.
person holding on to
ex-
the lead exactly. Yeah,
he it's not gonna be like the previous season, but he was holding the team even though Perez
yeah.
was performing. But then this year, Perez has not been performing, and Verstappen can't take on the lead by himself. And
Yeah, well,
I don't know if you have noticed, but then if Lando wins all the remaining races, including
yeah,
sprints and five fast laps, while Max finishes second throughout the 9 races, Lando is going to win the championship by 1 point. Imagine that, just
Yeah,
one.
I would be up for that. Bring back the Abu Dhabi title fight.
It's going to be crazy good. It's going to
That
be
would be
insane.
like perfect way to end the year. Like especially
Exactly.
the way it started and now how it is, it's like
Uh,
totally different. Like,
we have got to give to McLaren for that if they win this.
oh yeah,
Not
for
just
sure.
not just McLaren, Norris and Piastri as well, but then
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
brilliant performance so far this season by them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just on that one, like constructors championship, I think it's going to be very close as well. Just like
Yeah.
because it's the same as well. It'd be nice to have both the championship going to the wire in Abu Dhabi. But
Yeah.
I think the constructors is going to be heavily dependent on the second McLaren driver always beating Perez. If Perez
Yeah.
can't be ahead of the
Yeah.
McLaren driver, I think it's done deal for constructors.
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
I think
So
even
basically,
like last week, the way Oscar was driving, I think did he start in front or behind Checo? I think in front, right?
in front of Checo.
Yeah, so he started in front of Checo, still finished in front of Checo by like 2 positions. I think if that happens every week and then Norris
Che
is fighting Verstappen, that's enough for McLaren to be right at number one spot.
Yeah.
exactly, but then Checo lost a couple of places as well for the previous race.
No, exactly. So that's what I
Yeah.
mean. He's like not at the
So
same standard anymore.
so this time, for the remaining races, Red Bull has to be dependent on Checo as well in order to win them the constructor championship.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, of course, of course.
They're gonna be a crazy one. If Checo doesn't perform, either he's gonna lose a seat or both he's gonna lose the seat and the championship for the team.
Yeah, I think if Checo, I think I made a post about this, but Checo 4 or 5 more races till about
Mm-hmm.
the Mexico race. And if
Mm.
he's not like, I think I said in the last video as well, but I think if he doesn't like pull himself together, just get, a podium or something, or just consistently be top five, six,
Yeah,
at least top eight with the other three teams, his seat's going to be definitely up for grabs, even though he's got a 2-year contract now.
exactly. Who do you think if he's gonna lose the seat, who do you think is gonna take it up?
I think Right. I don't think Red Bull wants to sign Sonoda. Like, I
Mm.
feel like they've just got something against him, like right now.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
I think they've thought like they're just gonna keep him there until Honda aren't the powertrain anymore.
No, okay.
So I would think if Ricardo, like, if he just like drives how he's been driving and maybe a
Mm,
little bit better, get into the points a bit more, I think he can definitely have a shot at going back to Red Bull.
true. No, but then what about Lawson? He's been good as well when he was there.
Lawson, I agree, he's definitely been good, but he's only done 5 or 6 races last year. I think he needs
Mm,
more time. You can't just throw him into the Red Bull seat like that.
Yeah.
But,
true, true.
like we have Antonelli probably joining Mercedes soon, so anything can happen, but I don't think it would be the wisest choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I think if Lawson is coming back to F1, it's going to be a week up.
A
Uh,
V carb? Yeah, yeah, I
Mhm.
agree. I
going
think
to be a
so
week
as
up.
well.
Yeah, Ricardo is probably the one with the highest chance to go back to the second
But
seat.
yeah,
If not, the only option they have would be a driver from another team, like Albon coming back to Red Bull.
No,
Uh,
I
Gasly
don't think
or
he.
Gasly as well.
Yeah, but I think
yeah,
they're both out of that family now, the Red Bull family. So I think that's just like not an option for them. And I don't think they'd want to be that back in that seat with Max, like just being the number two, always
yeah,
like picking up the pieces
yeah.
and
There,
stuff like
there,
Exactly.
that.
there's also been talk about Carlos's seat in Williams. So I know he signed up for Williams for a long term,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
apparently there's been a clause that says if there is a seat available in one of the top teams, he can leave. So
Oh, yeah, yeah. I think
Oh,
even Albon would be snapping at a chance like that. He'd want to definitely go to a
Yeah.
team better than Williams. I know that the team principal has been like, we want to make them go back to the top again, be number
Mm,
one and all that stuff. But um, I think if there's a better seat up for grabs, why would he not take it? Even Aston Martin, like
Absolutely.
I
exactly,
think he'd definitely take that over Williams right now.
exactly. Sure.
Um, but actually, we were just talking about Ricardo. So Abdul, let's talk about your good drive today or for this weekend.
Yeah, I think my good drive is Leclerc because um, Ferrari has bought, I think, 9 different upgrades to the car this weekend.
Yeah.
Nine.
Yep, 9 different
Oh.
upgrades. Apparently, it's just not for this race, so they're just testing it for the next 2 races as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but after the FP1 and FP2 session, both the drivers seem to be at least happier than the previous races.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
positive. And yeah, I think Charles is usually really good at Monza. So I've chosen him as the good drive for this weekend.
Fair
Not
enough.
bad.
I've actually gone exactly the same as well. I've gone Charles Leclerc because like I said, I think he's gonna win. Um, I don't know how confident I am in that, but I'm gonna go for it. And
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
think he's
you guys have gone for complete Leclerc Ferrari lockout
yeah.
for a good
I
drive.
think yeah, he made a good point. 9 upgrades or whatever it was he said. Charles is really good here, and it'll be good to see Ferrari do something good around Monza for once. I think it's been a little while now,
Yeah.
but
Uh,
yeah, no, we'll see. But Hamdan, what do you think?
well, I told you, Norris,
Norris
his
still?
previous performance, he's gonna have a really good drive.
Yeah.
See, I still think he's gonna have a first corner incident, but then
First corner incident again. That's what you said last video, and that didn't quite work out, did it?
No, it kind of did. He did lose it in the first corner
Yeah,
before the
he
first
lost
corner.
it, but no
Yeah.
collision,
No, yeah, but then he did have an issue in the first corner.
Yeah, maybe
Like
you shouldn't
like
start from pole anymore.
exactly. He shouldn't start from pole. But
Yeah,
then
yeah.
if he wins, that's an amazing thing. But he did have a comeback, a major
Yeah.
comeback. So the last time I underestimated them, this time I'm not. I'm gonna give for Norris.
Okay, fair enough.
Norris for
Fair
the
enough.
win. Norris for the win.
What about the bad driver for the weekend? Who do you think is going to do poorly?
Yuki Tsunoda.
Why do you think that though?
I've lost hope in the
I think
previous
that's
race as well.
yeah,
Really,
that's
just
a
lost hope
secret.
like that?
Yeah, even in the previous race, he's not been performing well.
Yeah.
I think it's
He
going to
should,
help Ricardo if he doesn't perform well.
exactly. Because in the
Yeah, in that
previous
sense,
race,
it would be nice.
if I'm not wrong, in the previous race, he started somewhere in top 15 at 13 or 12, I guess, above Hamilton, if I'm not wrong.
Mm-mm.
But then he was down like 16th or 17th or something
Yeah,
towards the end.
I think the Racing Bull car has also not been very good.
Yeah,
Like
but
I think in Spa as well.
yeah,
And
but Ricardo on the other hand has been trying to utilize his car as much
yeah,
as
yeah, that's
possible.
true. Can't deny that. I think he
Yeah,
scored points at Spa, didn't he? So
yeah, exactly.
and he's been getting a lot closer than most of the other drivers like
Mm,
Magnussen, Sonoda, even Stroll sometimes. So
yeah, true.
Also,
um
don't forget, Ricardo is also one of those drivers who's really good at Monza. Remember his first McLaren win?
his McLaren win, yeah.
Monza.
That was
And
Hmm.
probably the maybe one of the few good races he had at McLaren, unfortunately. But actually, even it was I was really hyped to see something cool from him there. But yeah, I don't know. I think it always just depends on the car, doesn't it? Like some people adjust to it better. Like for example, Sonoda this year has been on top of the car much more than Ricardo. But now that Ricardo's like catching up a bit, he's
Hmm.
showing more like promise of being like really good and always consistent near the top 10, trying to pick up pieces when one of the top 8 teams messes up and stuff. So,
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree. I agree to that.
I think we can definitely see Ricardo doing good, but I am still surprised that you picked Yuki for bad drive.
Well, then let's see. Let's see. But what about Abdu? What do you think?
For me, I think I've picked Magnussen. I think it's a time of the season where he has to show how good he is because he doesn't have a seat for next season,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Yeah,
he
I agree.
hasn't been on top of his game in the last few races. And he
I
also,
feel like ever since Hulkenberg and like Haas decided not to keep him and stuff like that,
Mhm.
uh he's always had to like prove himself. Like remember the Miami race, he was like defending for his life
Yeah.
to give Hulkenberg points and stuff like that. So like I think in that sense, Magnussen's had to be like good to show he's a team player and all that. Like ever since the
Yeah, but then he puts out his elbows too much.
yeah,
Always
yeah,
caught.
that's true.
Remember in Monaco, the crash with
Yeah.
Perez.
Yeah.
There was
But
Yeah,
no gap. There was no gap.
there was
He
no
just went
gap.
for
No, yeah,
it.
exactly.
He just went for it.
I
Yeah,
don't
there
know if
was
you
no
guys
way.
remember. I don't know if you guys remember, but this is probably way before you started watching F1. But Magnussen used to race for McLaren.
Uh-huh.
Came,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And his first race, he got a podium.
yeah,
yeah.
And ever since then, he's only finished lower than that.
yeah. And Hamdan,
I
I
don't
think I
think.
sort of disagree with you that he puts his elbow out too much. I think we need characters like that in F1.
But
Uh,
then I think that that's a bit too much. That's a bit too much because
Yeah, I
he he
think
he he's
to
he's been getting penalties over penalties for that.
yeah,
yeah,
I think it needs to be to an extent, and then you kind of like draw the line somewhere. Like you can't
Exactly.
just keep doing that all the time.
but
Otherwise, it's gonna
Exactly.
cause problems.
the way he defended in Miami, to be for me, it was awesome.
It was
Like,
really cool to see, but it was still
That
illegal technically. So like,
illegal things to do because then that's what crash is going to cost
yeah,
most of this time. Yeah.
yeah,
No, just
um,
that the Monza thing has been. I'm like, why would he do that? But then he repeats in the other couple of races as well. I'm like,
yeah, that
okay.
was a big crash at Monaco, but
yeah,
like,
Sorry, Monaco. Sorry.
yeah,
Monaco, I
yeah,
tend to agree. Like, there was no way he's going to overtake someone on that straight.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, that's for sure.
Wanted to try the impossible move.
Well, I've gone Ocon, actually, bad drive.
Okay.
I just
Oh.
have a feeling he's not going to do well. I don't think he's ever actually done particularly well at Monza and
Hmm.
Alpine, or him in the Alpine last week. He was not good at all. Like Gasly
That's
getting
it.
to the
Was, yeah,
points,
top of the
that
game.
was really cool. And like he really utilized the car, but Ocon's like doing the opposite. And I think now Ocon's just going to go on like a downward trajectory. Like
Hmm.
his relationship with Alpine is going to be like really bad now. Like, he never really liked anyone in the first place, but like I think it's going to keep getting worse and I don't think his performances are going to show that he needs to stay there and he's also already got his seat, so like I don't think he has to worry about his future.
Yeah, sure. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think Gasly, like, I think he finished at 10th, right? In that,
Yeah, I think ninth or 10th,
Yeah.
yeah.
And, he was in points. He was in points.
Yeah,
yeah,
he got some points.
getting a point or two these days for Alpine is like a win.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I do agree with that.
Okay, well, what about good team, guys? Who are we going for? Abdul, we'll start with you.
I've gone for McLaren.
McLaren?
I only have Norris in the top three, but I think the fourth on the finishing line is going to be Piastri.
Piastri, yeah.
I
McLaren.
think I think you've gone McLaren even the previous race as well.
Well, what
He's going
happened
for
then? Norris
he,
won.
you
It's a
know
safe bet. It is a
wait.
safe bet.
It's a safe bet. It's a safe bet.
He's
It's
a
a
safe
safe bet.
bet. He's a safe.
He's probably gonna get a point for this, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Even I want Norris to win, but
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I strongly think McLaren's going to be that team who scores the most constructors point out of this race.
Hmm.
Yeah.
With Norris, you know, in my prediction, he's finishing first and then Piastri fourth.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I think, yeah, it's going to be another strong show for McLaren, remember
McLaren.
Monza is like one of those least technical circuits. There's a lot of straights.
Hmm.
Mm-mm.
And
So
they do have speed. They
And
do have the
McLaren is,
straight
I
line.
think, now the fastest straight line car.
yeah, and I don't
Exactly.
know if you saw this after that GP, Fernando Alonso, he was
Yeah,
uh,
he was actually looking at the car
Yeah, he was
under body.
inspecting it, looking
Yeah,
under the
under
rake and stuff.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was funny. I like that.
everyone's intrigued
Detective
about their, 22
Detective
seconds
Alonso.
that everyone want to know how did they do
Yeah,
that?
where do they pull that from?
Exactly.
The
Yeah,
Detective Alonso has come in action.
exactly, exactly.
It used to be Hamilton in last year.
I think
He'll
Seb
Seb,
Vettel,
yeah, Vettel
Inspector
for
Seb. That
yeah,
was the
Inspector
meme.
Seb. That was for Mercedes. He used to do for Mercedes.
Yeah,
Hamilton
he
used
used
to
to
do
look
that for
all over
Red
it.
Bull. Red Bull, no.
And now it's
Alonso
Fernando
for
on the McLaren. Yeah,
McLaren.
exactly. That's fair enough.
Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Well, who do you think is going to be the good team, Hamdan?
Merc, we've got to give it to
Merc?
them now. Yeah, they've been doing good. They've been doing good. The previous race, I don't know what they did to Russell, but then I'm pretty sure the car was actually good because Hamilton had gone from P14 to P8, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
So that was a beautiful drive. So the car has speed. So I'm guessing Mercedes is gonna have a really good day on Sunday. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure they're
yeah.
gonna
No,
pull some miracle there, and it's gonna put wonders on the
yeah,
track this time.
I
I have
agree.
a feeling. I have a feeling.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I think if I was to pick a P4, I think I would have gone Lewis as well. I
Lewis, yeah,
think
okay.
I didn't really put him on the podium, but I think he's gonna have a good race. He's looked really good in practice sessions.
We can see
And
the what do you call it? The champion winner, Lewis, right now. Hungry for wins,
yeah,
hungry
I
for
think
podiums.
after the first win that he took this year, I think he's
Yeah,
been really good.
Guys,
So
he he.
I think we also need to talk about Kimi. Kimi's he drove in FP1, so George has lost a bit of time in practice. So that we another
yeah,
interesting fact
Uh,
that how George
ex-
will perform in qualifying. Miss
yeah, true.
FP1.
yeah.
Mm.
Well, I actually
Yeah,
think Ferrari's gonna be good. I'm putting all my eggs in one basket here. I've gone
yeah,
Leclerc
yeah,
win, Leclerc
yeah,
good drive,
yeah,
and good team Ferrari. So I hope Leclerc
you've gone
just
all
pulls through
Ferrari
this
today.
weekend. Yeah. I feel confident, man. I feel confident. But
Yeah, remind you
yeah, I
guys
know.
that
Yeah,
the
I think I've
previous
already. Yeah,
yeah,
you go.
yeah, the previous the race, I think I scored the more points. The
Yeah,
win.
you did. I know you did. I know.
Going for Ferrari, Sharik, and we have all got a red background. I don't know if that says something.
Yeah. It's just a little special thing for the episode, you know. Hopefully we're in person for the next one. But
Yeah,
yeah. Anyway, what about bad team?
Red
I'm
Bull,
done.
Red Bull.
Red Bull.
No,
I
because
can.
I
I
know
kind of see that actually.
because I Max is gonna drive good. I don't
Yeah,
know
for
about the
sure.
podium. I don't want him in the podium because of my top three, but then he's gonna have a good time. But and then Perez, that is,
Perez.
yeah, I have a feeling that he might not qualify in the. He might not reach the Q3 this time.
Yeah.
I have a feeling, but then.
So
Hmm,
Sharik, remember, Hamdan doesn't get a point if Paris doesn't reach Q3.
no. I'm just assuming that, but I'm giving bad team for
Yeah,
Red
because
Bull.
it's not a crazy prediction.
It's not a
Yeah.
crazy prediction. It's not a crazy prediction. But then if it does happen, you can give it to me because I said it verbally.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll decide after the race.
Oh yeah.
Um, no, I agree. I think one of the main things with Red Bull is that they've not been good at tracks with the really big curbs.
Hmm.
So like any track that has like really strong curbs, big curbs, whatever, like Monaco, they weren't good there at all. Like Perez
Yeah.
crashed and Verstappen was sixth or seventh or fifth, I think. I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, Monza, I think they redid the curbings as well.
Mm.
I think I saw an article. Ricardo wasn't particularly impressed, but I think that was before he drove it, so that might affect what he thinks about it. But
Yeah.
I think Red Bull like being a bit of a flop this week is not too much of a surprise. I think we can kind of see it coming,
It's
especially
kind of
after last week as well.
exactly. It's kind of expected now.
Yeah.
What about
Um,
your guy? What you guys like? Who do you Shaq? What's your bad team?
uh, well, this is going with Ocon, so I've gone Alpine. I think even
Alpine.
Gasly's not going to be able to take much out of the car. Um,
Oh,
I think Alpine's also the heaviest car.
yeah, Alpine's the best car
Um,
on the track now.
even though they have the least paint on, probably. So like, I think
A lot of black.
even being the heaviest with the least paint, that's just like at Monza, that's not going to help you.
Exactly,
I don't know
exactly.
how it is now, but uh, I think Ocon bad race. Gasly's probably going to be out of the points as well, like 12th or something. I just don't think they're going to have a good time. I think they'll be kind of slow on the straight line. And if there's anyone who finishes behind them in qualifying, I think they might get stuck behind them in the DRS trains
Yeah.
Mm,
So
because that's a strong thing at Monza. So,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But what do you think of the weak
um,
team,
for
bad
me,
team?
it's Aston Martin. I
Okay.
feel like it's
Mm.
a forgotten team. For many,
Yeah.
completely forgotten Aston Martin exists.
Yeah.
I think they badly need Adrian Newey to join them.
Yeah. They need something.
Yeah, they
They've
need something.
just
They need something. Or they
they've
can just
been
pull out Stroll and the team would be much better.
yeah, just literally sign science or something, you know? Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Agree to that. I agree to that.
Yeah, I think
But
Um,
then,
if they finish anywhere below top 10, somewhere like 15, 16, that's going to be a bad day for
that's
them.
gonna be a bad day. I think even if they don't get points, because I think they're clearly still the fifth best team after the top four.
Yep.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because they're always, 8, 9, 10, or 11, 12. They're always there, always fighting.
True.
Even Alonso and Stroll, like they're usually close together now. That's how bad the cars got, which is actually pretty disappointing. But anyway, we'll
I
see
agree.
how it affects next year if
Yeah, I agree.
Newey's going there.
Yeah.
Be
Um,
good to see how that team sort of changes with his presence and from next year.
yeah, exactly. That's
And
pretty much confirmed as well.
yeah, and also feel
Mm.
like Alonso is sort of completely not in the mood anymore.
Yeah, he's not. He doesn't seem very interested anymore.
Yeah.
He's not
He's
pushing the
lost.
car like crazy.
He lost hope in the car.
Yeah, it's just where they were last year in the
Yeah,
start, second best
compare
car.
exactly. Yeah,
It's so different now,
he
isn't
was
it?
actually on the podiums most of the time.
Yeah, he had seven or something podiums last year. That was
Exactly,
really good.
exactly.
And
He
now
was
they've
P4, right? Towards the end.
yeah, I think P4 or 5 he was at the end of the
Mm.
year. And that was because of how strong they were at the start. So like
Exactly.
if they if they ever had something like that again, I think they'd utilize it a bit more.
Yeah.
Mm. They do have a beautifully experienced driver in their team, and
And
if
then they
he
have the
can't, then
opposite.
yeah, exactly. If he can't do it, then I don't know who else will pull Aston out of the rubble, which they're in right now.
Yeah.
Has to be Newey, right? Has to be Newey.
Yeah.
What
Has
else
to
do
be.
they have to rely on?
They're gonna pull in some crazy bundles of money to reel him in. Then,
Yeah, yeah. I think it's $100 million or something they've
oh
offered
my,
him. Just like
he
Lewis.
for Ferrari.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the Lewis Ferrari contract, it's 100 million for the year. That's
Imagine,
crazy. Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Um, all right, well, let's talk about crazy predictions because we do all expect something crazy to happen this weekend. Abdul, what do you think?
Going for a Perez crash.
No, that's not crazy though, is it?
That's not
Oh,
crazy. That's kind of
well,
expected.
yeah.
When though? When would he crash? During the race or
Yeah,
just
during the
any?
race, like
During the race, a crash?
no, I think it's going to be in the first 10 laps,
10
sometime
laps?
first
Okay,
10
okay.
laps.
You gotta
Probably
keep it. Shaq,
So
you've got to
we
sign it
gotta
now.
write
You
it
sign it.
as
Yeah, 10 laps. So if he
first 10
crashes,
laps, okay.
if he crashes after that, he doesn't get a point there, you know?
Yep, yep. You can, quote me on that. I
We'll
think
quote
it's
you on
going to
that.
be the
Okay.
first 10 laps, when, when all the cars are together. So yeah, that's my crazy prediction, and I think it's going to help McLaren, right? So with the construction.
Yeah, so that backs your other prediction, I guess. Yeah,
There you
True,
go.
true, true.
fair enough. What about Hamdan? What do you think?
Ah, well, Shaq is not gonna like this. DNF by Carlos.
Oh God.
Does not
You're
like
good
it.
team. You're a good team, and in that one is gonna be on the DNF.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that doesn't happen, but we'll see.
I would love some points, and I hope that happens.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
How about you, Shark?
I've actually gone a bit different. So I think so Sargent's just been kicked out by
Hmm.
Williams. And
Hmm.
so his new replacement, Colapinto, I think his name is. I think he's gonna
Okay.
beat Albon. I think that's my
Oh,
I'm gonna go bold with that one. I think Albon
that's bold. That's
is
bold.
gonna have a hard time at Monza. And
For
I
a
think
person who is gonna be driving an F1 car with
for the first time,
first
yeah.
time, I think you've
But
gone too bold.
we saw it with Nick
Bamon.
DeVries 2 years ago, so I don't think it's that
Nah,
like
I'm gonna go for
unpredictable.
Bamon. I'm gonna go for Bamon.
You would go for Behrman, yeah. But
Yeah, because he was
um
in points. He was ahead of Lewis as well.
yeah. But he was in a Ferrari, so
He was in a
that does
Ferrari.
make a
Ferrari.
difference. But I
It does
think
make.
Colapinto beating Albon,
Hmm.
even if it's not for points, I think
I
that's
think I think it's
possible.
a very bold prediction.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
it's a very bold prediction, and also, I don't know if you watched practice, but he was 2/10 of a second slower than Albon in both
Then
the,
Albon, okay.
Hmm.
which
Yeah.
I think for the first time it's pretty close, right?
That's
So
actually not bad.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
bad. Not bad.
a
Not bad.
second for an driver who has been there for like 3 years, that's
Mm-mm. Yeah,
uh,
exactly.
pretty good. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Well, actually, what speaking about Colapinto, what do we think about the Sargent situation? That is a pretty hot topic at the right now.
Now,
So
I think it's a good change because Sargent has not been much of on the show. It's either crashes or something else.
yeah.
Bad performance or crashes. It's either one of those by Sargent. So I think it's better to give the seat to somebody who they think can prove better.
Yeah, I think we should do a separate, we could do a separate podcast on how F2 is bringing up new talents into F1. If you think about it, like there was a time when Norris, Russell, and also Albon were like Charles Leclerc, all of them came from F2 into F1. Like right now,
Yep.
there's not many talents like who's consistently performing in F2 that's coming up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't want to go to that rabbit hole, but you probably could
yeah.
separate
It's gonna be a big one.
yeah.
Yeah, we could easily talk about that for a long time. But yeah, I think that wraps up our predictions for the Italian Grand Prix. This is our preview. Uh we're hoping for a Ferrari win. Well, I am, but um we'll see what happens and thank you for watching.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.